Appreciate it. We got something to work. I'll wait. Yeah. All right, let's make that. All right, hold on. No, see something. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. Like I said, I think about 8. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Nice talking to you guys.
Are we all good on white balance? Good?
Yeah,
I picked this all on my own. Yeah, right. Yeah, every day. I'm a sign after my second. But you well, actually, I have to fire up. So I guess. Yeah, you are a little bit.
Coach is coming. Coach. And Pat.
I think.
All right. As far as the injuries go, Justin Watson is really the one that got hurt. Hurt his elbow. We'll just see how he does here. It's not broken, so that's a positive thing. But anyways, the crowd was phenomenal. Bucker was phenomenal. He ceases to amaze me with his kicking. He's so reliable and does a great job with that. Our defense was incredible tonight, as they have been. I think at halftime they had 39 yards or so passing, and that's quite a feat. So my hat goes off to Sean and his group there. They're trying to build something right there, and that's they're working at it. And he's a good football coach. He's got a good staff and good players. So our hat goes off to them. And then offensively, we got to take care of business in the red zone. Had a lot of yards, positive yards, but you can't stall down there. You can't have penalties. You can't, you can't have fake field goal. We probably want to have that one back on the QB sneak. So, anyways, just gonna okay. All right. So with that, time's yours.
And you said you'd like to have the big field goal back and what happened? Like,
Yeah, I shouldn't have called that. I mean, it was 2 yards right there and probably a little bit too far. So, but we were trying to stay aggressive with it, but probably want that one back.
Anything you can identify with the red zone offense that just wasn't pieced together?
Yeah, you know what? They were playing soft on us, and I could have called some different plays, to be honest with you. So, just when teams are playing like that down there.
And you always easy after a game to look at play calls that work. And short yardage in particular, I know it's just something you guys focus a lot on.
Yeah. We had one good one, and then came back with a not so good one. So we got to take care of business with that. Just again, I'll take that one. But that wasn't good enough.
Travis, today, 120 yards, always seems to have some successful games against the Broncos. Just today, what did you see out there for him that just made him so successful, especially with the ankle injury?
Yeah, no, he had over 100 yards. Pat had over 300 yards, and it kind of gets messy there because of the red zone that took place. So, but there were some really good things with Rasheed. Had some nice plays, but again, we've got to do better, and we'll keep working on that.
Coach, don't have the stat counts in front of me, but it seemed like you guys were playing Rasheed a little bit more today. What did he do to earn that? And just
Yeah, listen, he's been getting better every week. I think you guys see that, and he's explosive, strong after the catch. So that's why.
We don't know what plays Travis is supposed to run or not, but it looked like in the first quarter he was doing a lot. Just stuff he saw.
They were playing a lot of zone, soft zone, and so that's he's good with that. He can work in those zones. I mean they were called plays, but and he actually ran them like they were supposed to be called for the most part. Well, that was that's something we do every day in practice. So it didn't surprise me that it took place. That was on his own. Yeah.
Was there ever a doubt he was going to play?
No.
Andy, 5-1, going into this mini bye, and you still feel like you probably played your best football. So just overall assess kind of where you are, even though a performance that you still like a lot.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, we strive for something better than we're doing right now. And, we've got a good Charger team coming in here next. And, we'll get back to the drawing board on this thing and work to get better. But I love the way Bucker's playing. Tommy was phenomenal. Tommy was the one that was, questionable on playing. I mean, he hurt his hamstring and he just said, I'm going. And my hat goes off to him, So, but, we'll take the wins. They're tough to get in this league. And that's what I told the guys, but we get back and work on a few things and we'll get better, become a better team.
Which I know you spend the big bye doing some self-scouting with the coaches at least part of the week. How much do you use maybe these 3 days?
You know what? With all the technology that we have, we're able to do that weekly. We just stay right up on it. So, I mean, we'll look at the things again that we need work on and go through that. But with the technology you have today, it's not as much as what what it used to be. So,
Are there any areas on defense that you feel like aren't what you think they should be at this point?
Well, not tonight. I thought they did a nice job. I mean, the guys played well. We're doing okay. You got to keep getting better, though. I mean, that's how it goes.
Good.
Okay, good.
Nick Bolton's right here. Nick Bolton's coming in right now. Good. Nick, on
Yeah.
your return, coming back, get an interception.
Yeah.
How would you assess just first off you returning, but then second off the defense as a whole to hold this unit to pretty much one touchdown?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like me coming back this week, man, was a little bit up and down. Again, I think I had a little sloppy tackling. Kind of clean that up, but I think that's just not going to rust off. But overall, as a defense, man, I'm excited for where we're going. We keep trending in the right direction. Guys getting more comfortable playing with each other. And yeah, just executing the game plan. Guys know everybody's gonna be in the right spot at the right time. Everybody's flying to the football, and the most important thing, we're having fun while we're doing it. We can keep that up every single week, and we'll be special.
Nick, you ended up finishing the last game you played. Just what went on to realize that it wasn't going to hold up, and you ended up missing the time, just generally?
Yeah, man. I kind of just felt my ankle messed up a little bit. I kind of feel like I gutted through that game. I kind of went back, looked at the MRI and stuff, and just just had an ankle sprain. So just kind of just moving around on it, trying to get comfortable. And I wasn't ready until this week. I tried to get a go last week. So I moved around a little bit, just didn't feel good on the turf. And so I came back this week, and I kind of gave it a go, and it felt great. So if I can keep this going every single week, man, I'll be pretty good.
You're 100% now?
Yeah.
Nick, what were the things you saw from the defense?
Yep.
What were the things you saw from the defense in camp that let you know you guys were going to play this way when the season started?
Yeah, man. I think it kind of helps when you play football for a very long time. You only get two months off, so everything's kind of pretty much fresh in your mind. Everybody's used to where everybody's supposed to be at, and then it got coming. Guys coming back playing the same scheme, same positions. So everybody's playing a little bit faster than what they were last year. I kind of feel like that kind of attests to everybody's offseason caring about the product on the football field, and also our coaches, man. They kind of dive in full-fledged all summer, all training camp, all OTAs, and create a plan for us to go out there and be successful.
You were out 3 games, but Drew Trifle filled in.
Yeah.
Just that linebacker core.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see while you were out that showed you that they were playing the way they were?
Yeah, I kind of saw everything I saw in camp. OTAs, everybody's willing to learn. Everybody going out there trying to execute the game plan, and then ultimately, everybody in our linebacker room wants to win. So they're going to do everything they can in their part to get to that point, regardless of what it takes. And that's what our group is about. That's what we embody, and that's what we try to execute every single day.
Nick, what were you doing to make things so difficult for us?
Yeah, I think Coach Patch did a great job of mixing up looks, able to get them in third and longs. In the first half, third and 2 and 3s gets kind of difficult to try to heat them up a little bit or try to get a 4-man rush and let Chris and the rest of the D-line go to work. So I think we kind of did this better in the second half, give them a second and long, third and long, let our D-line do their thing. And ultimately, just getting our DBs, getting hands on wideouts and throwing off the time, and I think that was huge today.
What did you see in particular on your interception play?
Yeah, actually, we played the Vikings last week. We kind of missed that route. We call it cafe. So running back to the flat, got a curl and got a vertical route. We kind of missed it a little bit, about 2 or 3 yards, and I just knew that play was going to come. Short week, kind of guys just trying to make sure that they hit plays we weren't good at. So I saw the same picture, same play, and I was able to get in that window, make the play.
Nick, how huge is it just to get a win against an AFC West rival, the Denver Broncos? How huge is that?
Yeah, man, I think it's huge. We understand what it takes to win in this league. Also, we understand how important it is to play home field, have home field advantage all playoffs, and it starts this week. We got another one coming up next week, and we're just trying to hold on home field. We understand what we can do with our fans, and Patrick what he does when he's at home. So, much as we can, we're going to try to get home games here and win the division.
Nick, talk about the linebacker room a little bit more.
Yeah.
Good thing for you. Your Chanel with Jay.
Yeah.
Linebacker room is deep. A little bit more, and the job that you train.
Yeah, I definitely think we got at least about 4 or 5 starters in our room. These guys come in every single day that can execute, can fly around to the football, get guys aligned, and also just communicate as linebackers. And this game is kind of difficult to be able to communicate, get everybody checked up, and then also doing your job. But those guys, man, since training camp, OTAs, are kind of just pride themselves and want to learn, want to evolve themselves mentally on learning the scheme. And so, yeah, those guys come in every single day. I didn't expect anything else from them. Again, they gave me all the confidence in the world, man. Every single week, that we got it, man. Just get healthy. So they let me do that, and yeah, our defense, our linebacker room, man, is just gonna be special going forward. Yep. Thank you.
Everybody's got 5:30 flights to go home.
Oh, yeah.
Trey said 5:36.
Matt, do you know who we got for the one?
I got Rishi right.
Kate's back on the G.E.H.A. So we got decision day coming up. That's important stuff. Second one.
What? Did you see him? Yeah. Well, no, he came in. Shit. Yup. Came up there. Logged on close. Like. I don't think he did. Same with Chris Jones.
Yes. I mean, I looked like, that's good. I was like, He was like, I was phone. He's like, they're like,
It's
like, we don't exist.
like I gotta.
Oh, yeah, his headphones on those times.
It's time.
Yes.
It's time.
Oh, for a fish?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Are you ready? Neither one of them did.
No.
It's time. Yes. You know, just the the quarterback is required.
Yeah, he's required. Yeah,
But interpret the. You want to read the policy,
but you read the policy. How I read the policy is totally different.
interpret.
Hey. I hear you. I don't want to take anything away from you.
I want you to add something.
Here's Jared. Were you able to get any Chiefs players?
Yeah.
A little bit. Were you able to get 2 of the stars on the team?
There you go.
ESPN.
There you go.
Here I am thinking WDF is just low ball.
Huh?
Cap Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. After the Richard Sherman talks here off
I love Richard Sherman. I mean, you talk to you for a little, but like, but yeah, it was different because you went back out to
Hey, we gotta go.
Amazon.
Hey, I gotta run. We got time. Oh, this is how it's done.
Can you speak on behalf of the entire offense?
But besides your rookie,
And to be fair, Jerry is a stand-up guy.
oh, tonight?
Yeah.
He did not look.
Oh, he's not real.
No.
He's a professional stand-up.
Rob? So when do we play fingers at the sheet? We playing in the season. I'm like,
Plays ain't here. Yes, they should be happy. Yes, they're 5-1. They should be.
but they can't.
sure we did. But
One came in.
I gotta give you both. I don't know. I gotta give you both. But yes.
Patrick, a win is a win, obviously, but I'm sure the offensive execution wasn't up to the standard that it was. It's just a set.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a lot of good things. Just obviously red zone, some third downs. We just didn't execute at a high enough level. I still think there was a lot of good things we can take from it. We just got to continue to get better and better. Luckily for us, our defense is playing great, so we can go through these growing pains and try to get better and better. But I mean, the talent's there; you can see it in spurts. But we have to learn how to sustain drives, getting down the red zone, score touchdowns, and make it easier on our defense to play a little bit more free.
Patrick, at what point does you don't get patient because it's a long season, but at what point does a sense of urgency kind of come in from offense?
I mean, I think there's always a sense of urgency. I mean, I think you ask offensive guys in the locker room right now, and they're going to say that we didn't play our best. We could have done a lot of things better. But like I said, we're lucky enough that the defense is playing so good, special teams are playing so good that we can still win football games. And I still feel like at times when it's most needed, the guys are making the plays. I mean, Sky on the out route there at the end of the game, Rashid with the big catch. I mean, guys are making plays when it counts. But as we continue on the season, we have to continue to get better and better so that hopefully when we get to the playoffs, we're hitting our stride and we can really kind of match our defense as far as intensity.
Patrick, how much of Travis's was exactly where the play call for him to be?
I mean, we give so much freedom to Trav that I guess all of it is called, but all of it isn't called. So, I mean, I know he's definitely not supposed to pitch the ball. That's the one I know for sure. So he does. We give him freedom. He's kind of one of those guys you can give freedom because he knows this offense at the back of his hand. So, but he did a lot of great jobs. They played a lot of zone coverages. I think you saw today. He was in zone. He can work the middle of the field, and so it hurts some of our deep game. But at the same time, whenever you have a guy like that can work in the middle of the field, it helps out a ton.
Patrick, what's your reaction to that, Patrick, when he does pitch it?
It's just Travis. I mean, he knows that if he pitches it, it better work because if he doesn't, Coach Reason will get on his tail. So he does it in practice, and everybody thinks he's kind of we're joking around. And then I know that he's just like seeing what he can get away with for the game.
Patrick, you see up in the defense playing so well. Do you feel like you guys can take some more chances or the chance that you took in Arrowhead?
Yeah, I mean, I think the special teams one, we got close to getting that first down. Obviously, I can't throw the interception, even if it is tipped. I got to find a way to throw the ball. I was trying to throw the ball away, but to find a way to get the ball away, maybe shorter, find another person to throw it away at. But, I mean, yeah, you kind of just have to go with the game. I thought we did a great job of staying patient, getting the ball down the field, but in this league, 3 points, 7 points is just such a big difference. And so if we found a way to execute in the red zone and score those touchdowns, we'd come away feeling great. But since we didn't, we have a lot of room to improve. And so that's just something that we got to continue to work on, is just putting a full game together. I think we've had spurts of playing good in the middle of the field. We've had spurts of playing good in the red zone. But let's put a full game together and see what we can do.
Patrick,
The early part of the season, do you like to use to just figure out what the offensive identity is going to be for the long stretch?
Yeah, I think we always do that a little bit. I mean, we always know Travis going to do what he does, but especially with the new receiver groups we've had these last few years, we've kind of built our identity through the season. Obviously, this is a little bit slower than we had the year before, but we have a lot of young guys that have showed a lot of great flashes, and so I know the talent's there. It's about how can we put those guys in the right position to go out and execute. And it's little things in this league, and people think it's a big gap. And we try to explain that if you don't execute those little things, these games are a lot closer than you're used to seeing. And so for us, we have to continue to get better and better each and every week and to see where we can go from that.
Are we going to work this one side or will be done by his start?
Patrick, in your view, what's allowed the defense to become what it has?
It's depth, I think. I mean, they've done a great job of not only drafting, but getting key free agents and developing guys. I mean, we have guys that are starters on other teams that are trying to find a way to get on the football field. And when they get on the football field, they're making plays. And so when a guy like Nick Bolton goes down, we throw in Drew and he can be a star middle linebacker, or same with some of the DBs. Like we can almost rotate guys in because we have that depth on the defense, and they're playing with confidence. And then you got a guy like 9-5 in the middle; he takes up a lot of the attention, and so I guess those other guys get free, and those other guys are making the most of it. And I'm excited to get Charles back there. I think this next week.
Is there a broader ripple effect for you guys? I mean, obviously it helps to be able to count on them, but I mean, does it give you some peace of mind? them playing as they have so far?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But I have that aggressive mindset, so I always want to put as many points on the board as possible. But it gives me, especially with the defenses and how they're playing us in such deep zones, I can take the stuff underneath and drive the ball down the field. Hopefully to get touchdowns. Obviously, we got field goals today. Knowing that it might take some time, because I know get the defense fresh. They're going to come out fresh, firing. They're going to get the ball back to me quickly. And so I think it's more of a mental thing for myself. But at the same time, man, you know me, man. I want to go out there and score as much as possible, and you just got to be smart when you do it.
Sam, what's the frustration with short yardage? How much time you guys put into it?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to be better at it. I mean, we're great everywhere else on third down, so let's just continue to work on it. I think we've had great games at it. We've had bad games at it. It's part of football, but we'll continue to work at it. I promise you that. And we'll continue to get better and better at it. And so when we have those big moments, especially as the season goes on, we'll execute at a high level.
It's no secret how competitive you are, and you talk about always having a sense of urgency. But you have to guard against getting frustrated because you're not scoring touchdowns like you're accustomed to this point in your career.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just used to going out there and being able to have that mentality. I want to score every drive. And that's how I've always been, and I always will be. But at the same time, you got to win the football game. And so I can't let maybe a drive or two that we didn't get in the end zone affect the full scope of the entire game. That's something I've learned in my career. And so instead of trying to press or do something crazy or scramble around and do something, I'm just going to keep pushing and taking it one play at a time to move the ball down the field. And I know that if our defense is playing that well, if I can just continue to put just points on the board, we're going to win the football game. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
The field goal drive you guys had at the end of the first half, the Broncos called a timeout after their third down. Were you expecting to get the ball back? Like, were you guys going to call a timeout, or did that surprise you?
I mean, honestly, there's a couple of thought processes there. I mean, with how windy it was, I think they were trying to say, let's make them field it. We already had one where it kind of got a little shaky there. It was so windy. And so, but at the same time, I don't think we were going to call a timeout. We were kind of satisfied with it. And they called a timeout, wanted us to field it, which we probably would have done that same situation. We got good field position, 2 plays, to the 50, and it seemed like Harrison could have made that thing from the opposite 20. So it was a big-time field goal from Harrison. Got us that another 3 points and then get the ball out of half. So it was definitely a turning point. But, I mean, there's thought processes both ways.
Last two peaked in Adam.
It seems like every week Rasheed's taking a step forward. In this spot, 3rd and 2, you end up going to him for 28. Just see on that play, and how's the trust?
Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, they had a good sense of they were going to make sure they took Trav away, and we had a receiver in the backfield of KT, so they pushed a lot of people over to the right. And I saw 47 kind of trying to get Joel was trying to get in there, and I just knew if I could get it to Rasheed, there was kind of no one behind him. And so they were really focused on getting Trav away, which is probably smart thinking, but it opened up Rasheed. I got the ball to him, and I told him, I was like, you got to get those knees up, man. There's 2 of them that if you get those knees up, I think you can get in the end zone. So that's going to be the next progression for him.
Last one. Patrick, you talked a minute ago about growing pains and how this is coming along. Maybe a little still. What are the reasons for that?
Yeah, I think it's just different. I think we're getting more coverage than even I've expected. And I know we said that kind of a couple years back, but I mean, there's a lot of deep coverages, and it's forcing us to be patient and drive the length of the field. And I think teams are just, with the young guys and trying to integrate them, they're going to say, we're going to make you drive the field and score touchdowns. And I thought we did a good job driving the field. We just didn't score the touchdowns today. And so if defenses are going to do that, we have to continue to get better and better at it. And then when the opportunity arises and we get man coverage, we have to make sure we hit those deep ones. And so I thought we did a good job at that part today. It's just the red zone is extremely important. We have to execute at a higher level there. But we'll go back, and we'll have a big game coming up this next week, and we have to make sure we're better in that red zone this next week.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys.
What is it? Harrison, in the offseason, you talked to us about how much time you put in and kind of reinvented yourself in the kicking game. Does it pay off when you see results like this tonight?
Oh, definitely. You know, if anyone watches me on the sideline, I have my duct tape on the ground. I have measuring tape out, and I just try to be like a robot. And it really does start in the off season, developing a good foundation. So if I know where I want my steps to be and what I want my technique to look like in the off season, when I get to the season and big kicks, I can just kind of get outside my body a little bit, just rely on, my mechanics and not have to think a ton. And hopefully the balls are going straight through. And, thankfully this season, I've had a lot of kicks where the balls are going right where I want them to, but definitely building that foundation, kicking wise, but also physically, and, making sure I'm feeling good. And I talked earlier about hurting that ankle last season. It does mess up, all your lifting, all your sprint work. So when you do come back, you're like struggling to hit the ball as far, but I'm feeling good. And, thankfully the balls are going through.
Is there anything that you changed mechanic wise, footwork wise, even sort of like you told us before about where you aim your foot for the ball on a season?
Right. I think I really had to be okay with my technique looking different. I used to skip downfield a lot. So I would plant with my left foot and then skip, maybe at a 45-degree angle, a couple feet downfield. But now, I don't really skip at all. And if I do, sometimes it's straight to the left or almost a little bit backwards. And, it's not, perfect technique, but the balls are going through. And as a kicker in year 7, I'm not trying to, be the best looking technique kicker there is. If the balls are going through, that's what I'm going to do. And I've had to adapt and evolve, but, I still got a pretty decent follow through with the right leg, but, I'm just not skipping downfield as much, but, that's really minor stuff. At the end of the day, are the balls going through? That's the most important.
You've kicked obviously game winners in the Super Bowl. You've been doing this for a long time. What's the feeling like when the ball's midway in the air and the crowd sort of lets you know?
Well, normally the crowd doesn't let me know, I'll know before the crowd, or I should, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's a blessing to be able to play with the Kansas City Chiefs where, we have a great coaching staff, great team of guys, and we're fortunate enough to win a lot of games. So I've been put on this pedestal where I am kicking big kicks, and it's nothing to do with me as a kicker. It's just I'm on this team and I'm getting the spotlight a lot of times. And, it's just a blessing as a kicker. You don't really create kicks, right? You just are given chances to go out there and hopefully you produce and do well. But I never would have thought I'd be an NFL kicker now going on 7 years and still, kicking the ball and feeling good. So just very thankful.
Harrison, the 60-yard field goal. Just walk us through the process on that one. Did you even think you get an opportunity? Because there was 15 seconds when you guys got possession and then all the wind going on.
Right. In warm-up, I made a 65-yarder with some room to spare, and Coach Tobe loves banging big field goals at the end of the half or end of the game, but our offense is so good. We normally get a short field goal or even score a touchdown. So a 60-yarder was definitely, or 61-yarder was definitely in our range, and going towards that tunnel, the wind was at my back. And, thankfully it just went inside that left upright, went through, and, it's just something we practice and we try to be the best we can leading up to the game so that when we get to the games, it just feels smooth and like we're in a rhythm.
So 65 yards was your range to that?
65, I don't try to kick a ton of balls in warm-up. So like in past seasons, I'd go back to 70, 72, 74 yards to see what my max was. But this game, I made from 65. Okay. Probably could make from 68, 69 or something with the win. But yeah, made 65 in the warm-up.
Given that you said you alter your technique a little bit, it's a little bit different. Did you feel like you needed to see a good streak to start the season, just mentally to have confidence that this was going to be the best way to go?
It's a good question. I never think about streaks. I always say every kick's a big kick, and I really try to focus on just one kick at a time. But, streaks definitely help for confidence and you feel good. But I think the way I've approached pregame warmups and practice, I'm hitting less balls and I'm just trying to be mentally confident going into it. Boom, I can make a big kick without having to warm up a ton in the net, warm up, on the uprights before maybe I'm kicking with the team. It's just trusting, my mechanics and just going out there. So I think I probably came into this year just more mentally confident, not needing to kick a bunch of balls. And because of that, my legs feel better throughout the game and throughout the season.
It seems like you and Tommy are always the first ones to know when the ball's going through. When did you know that 60-yarder?
Not until it went through, because that one was flirting with the left upright, and I knew the wind was a little left to right, so I was hoping it was gonna, fade to the right a little bit, and it did. So very thankful on that, and just want to give a little shout out to Tommy, who was struggling with the left knee, and the fact that he played, man, he could be the holder, and that helps out me a lot to have someone that I'm familiar with that does a great job. And I definitely would not have had this game most likely if we brought in, a different kicker or different holder, different punter.
Were you ready to punch? Yeah, Tommy.
Wow. Oh, it's not good.
Oh, were you ready to fight if Tommy didn't go today?
I don't think they would have asked me. You know, we had some other things in mind potentially, but I punted in high school. I'd rather just not even have to go out there and do that on the NFL stage.
So how much does having a holder you trust go into your process?
Oh, you know, he's like my caddy. You know, I can tell him exactly where we want to aim, where we want to have the laces, what lean we want, and you know, I know that his holds are really good. He's familiar with James, if spinning the laces if he needs to. You just are a lot more confident when you have a guy that you trust and has been there and done that.
Your defense got a sack with 22 seconds left. Were you surprised that the Broncos took the timeout to give you guys a chance?
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to replay in my mind, but normally during the games, I'm not even really paying attention to what's going on. I just know we try to get the ball and get long field goals if we can. So I probably was warming up in the net or warming up, taking my steps when the Broncos still had the ball, just in case, you know, we got the ball back. All right. Thank you.